Ah, Cedar Point, the creme de la creme of amusement parks. Cedar Point is one of, if not the best amusement parks in not just the US, but the entire world. With 18 different roller coasters to choose from, there are naturally a couple of questions that come with such a collection. What's the best? What's the worst? What should I ride? And what should I skip? If you've only got one day, what should you prioritize? Well, hopefully I can help you out with that today. I've been to Cedar Point many different times and have been on most of these coasters. Today's list will exclude Wild Mouse and Top Thrill 2 because I was unable to ride them when I went. But generally, if Top Thrill 2 is open, you should prioritize it. And as for Wild Mouse, I'd really only ride it if you're looking for a calmer ride, or if you're going to the park with kids. With that said, let's get to the list. At number 16, we're going to have Woodstock Express. There ain't much to say here. Pretty basic kiddie coaster, ride it with your little kids. If not, you can skip this one. It ain't much. Now for 15, we've got Wilderness Run. This is basically the same deal. It's a kiddie coaster. The reason it's ranked higher, though, is because this one is very janky and actually gives a little bit of airtime if I recall correctly. I'll be honest, I haven't ridden this in 7 years, so I may be wrong, but I gotta work with what I've got. Coming in at 14, we've got Rougarou, and this ride is a piece of I already did an entire video on why this ride is pointless. It's actually one of, if not my best videos, so if you're curious, go give it a watch. I'll leave a link in the description and at the end of the video for it. I don't want to repeat myself too much, but to summarize, this ride is very rough, there's quite a bit of headbanging, and it also just does not do that much of interest. It's a pretty basic layout without much to offer. For 13, I have Cedar Creek Mine Ride. This is a pretty sucky mine train. Mine trains are a staple of many different amusement park roller coaster lineups. You've got some bangers like Thunderation at Silver Dollar City and Big Thunder Mountain Railroad at Magic Kingdom. But here at Cedar Point, it's very lackluster. It's a little too janky for my liking. There's always going to be some jank with mine trains. It's what makes a mine train, but this is just too much. The other problem is that the layout really just doesn't do anything at all. It's just a bunch of meandering with no real forces. This one is very skippable. Now, speaking of skippable, at 12 we have Iron Dragon. This ride really just doesn't do anything. The ending is pretty cool with that scenic sweeping turn of the lake, but even then, it ain't much. This ride is a whole lot better to watch than to ride. And that's saying a lot considering its color scheme is, well, yeah, not very pleasing. I've been to Cedar Point a total of 5 times and I only rode this on 2 visits because it's really just not worth it at all. Now here is where we start to transition to the do them if you want category. These really should not be prioritized, but if you really want to do them, then go ahead and add them to the schedule. For the first roller coaster in this category, we're going to have number 11, which is Blue Streak, the park's only wooden coaster. This ride is fine, it's pretty rough though, so if that's a big problem for you, then I would definitely pass. But if you like the feel of a nice classic wooden roller coaster, then this could definitely be your cup of tea. Now, heading into the top 10, we have Corkscrew. Gonna rip the band-aid off right now. This ride is rough and most people will not enjoy this. The reason it's ranked all the way up here for me is because the airtime hill on this ride is mental. It gives some crazy ejector airtime and is one of the best moments of airtime in the entire park. After this, it also has a pretty forceful vertical loop that I also tend to enjoy. The problem with this ride is that it is incredibly rough and the actual corkscrew elements are really unbearable. If you think you can handle it, personally I think it's worth a ride, but I would not recommend it to most people. For number 9, we're going to have Raptor. This is one of my least favorite inverted coasters. This isn't to say the ride is bad, it's just not exactly my type of ride. One thing about me is that I cannot stand strong G-forces on my legs. I find it incredibly uncomfortable. Because of this, I really dislike Raptor's finale. It goes into 2 very snappy corkscrews and then into a tight helix at the end. And this is how the entire ride is. It's very compact and tight throughout the entire layout. And this certainly may be your type of ride, but for me personally, I'm not a huge fan. I prefer the more drawn out layouts, such as Banshee at Kings Island. Although this is lower on my list, I would recommend this more than I'm letting on. If you made it this far into the video, and you're still enjoying the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. It really helps out the channel, and if you do like this video, odds are you'll like some of the other videos on my channel, so please consider checking them out. With that out of the way, for number 8, I've got Valraven. This ride looks a lot more impressive than it actually is. It looks like a beast, staggering at 200 feet with a vertical drop, but despite this, the ride is just decent. The layout outside of the drop is kind of mediocre. It has a good drop off the mid-course and a good roll towards the end, but outside of these 3 moments, there ain't much here. Still, if you have time, I recommend trying to get a ride in. Going to number 7, we've got Gatekeeper. Now we're starting to get to the really good rides. Gatekeeper is a fairly underrated wing coaster in my opinion. I find it to be one of the best wing coasters in the US. It has an excellent drop that gives great hang time, as well as insanely wicked near misses with the keyholes. Also, unlike Valraven, the airtime hill on this ride actually gives airtime. This ride isn't perfect though. It's bogged down by many weak elements. The vertical loop and the dive loop really just don't do it for me, and the finale is very lame. It's just a basic helix. Despite its flaws though, it's still a fun ride that I would definitely recommend if you have the time. For number 6, I've got Gemini. Now, most people will not put this as high as I have, and I understand that. I'm definitely in the minority with this position, but I love Gemini. Now, the ride on its own ain't nothing special. It has decent airtime, but so do a lot of the other rides in this park. So what makes Gemini so special? It's the racing aspect. But not just that you're racing, but that you can actually reach out and touch the other train. Unlike rides like Racer or Twisted Colossus. This is where the fun part comes in. You can high-five and interact with the people on the other train. When I go, I love to play a game called Money Train, where you pass $1 between the two trains. This is some of the most fun I've had at an amusement park, and it's not even because of the quality of the ride, it's just because of this ingenious feature. Okay, we've made it. From here on, every ride is a must-do. To start off, we have number 5 with Millennium Force. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a great ride, but it can get a bit repetitive at times. Turn after turn after turn, it feels very samey, especially in the middle section. Though, I do have to say, the nickname Millennium Forceless is not true. This thing is full of forces. I mean, there's normal force, gravitational force, even friction. I'm telling y'all, it's crazy. And the most underrated part of this ride is the floater airtime. It is the best floater airtime in the park by far. And with the T-bar restraint, you feel so open and free. It's crazy. For number 4, we've got Siren's Curse. The new ride that everybody's freaking out about, despite the fact that it is completely safe. The tilt on this ride is cool, but it's really only the beginning. The layout is really strong here, the highlight being the crazy whip throughout the ride, especially of the 2 rolls. Those are some of my favorite inversions on any ride. It feels like an arcade roll light, if you will. The one area I felt was lacking was the airtime. Now the airtime is still really good, but it definitely could have been stronger. Now just cracking the top 3, we have Magnum, my mangled, marvelous, majestic mess of a ride. Nothing beats a ride on good old Magnum, second to back row. Don't listen to the row 3ers, they're lying. Second to back is definitely where it's at. Now listen up. For me, personally, and for many other people, this ride is number 3 worthy because it's so demented. It is painfully awesome. But I mean that literally. It is painfully awesome. You will be experiencing a lot of pain. So, although this is number 3, this might be one you want to skip if you don't think you can handle the pain. But if you can, a treat is sure in store for you, my friend. Now, number 2, we've got Maverick. This is literally a perfect layout. This might be one of the best roller coaster layouts of all time. It starts off with a banger drop and some killer turns, and then the ride gets more and more intense with a crazy launch in the tunnel and some barbaric snaps at the end of the ride. This is one of the most intense roller coasters I have ever been on. Its pacing is ridiculous. This is a ride you are sure to remember. And finally, at number 1, we have Steel Vengeance. I may have said Maverick has a better layout, and that may be true, but the better ride, without a doubt, is Steel Vengeance. Now, contrary to popular belief, I don't actually hate this ride. It's one of my favorites, with an impeccable first half that will send you flying out of your seat and inverting in ways you never thought possible. While the second half isn't nearly as good, it still delivers some good airtime with some insane head choppers as you weave throughout the structure of the ride. There is a reason why this is touted as being the best roller coaster on Earth, and it's a damn good one. That's gonna do it for today, guys. If you've enjoyed the video, as always, like and subscribe for more, and of course, have a very lovely day.